see the way they hate. And I know better than to listen to the people who are calling us slaves. I can feel the sun.
Well, good morning, everyone. My name is Brian, and today is Friday, February 16th, 2024, and this is episode 635 of the Lots Project podcast, and today it's titled Beautiful Day. I'll be chatting about the awesome day yesterday out with my buddy Jamie at Off Grid Ping, and then over to Delinquents Gully, stalking the UPS guy a little bit. I felt like a little bit of a creeper, and yeah. And a trip today, had to push off my laundry and grocery trip to a Friday, and I realized something else too. So talk about that. But first, let's check out who's hanging out in the live chat, who's in here, the coffee crew, and grab a cup and chat for about an hour. Good morning, good morning, good morning. How are we doing? Let's see. Gingerbread was in way early, talking about all sorts of nonsense at 1:30 in the morning because he didn't want to get out of bed. Pip didn't want to get out of bed. I didn't want to get out of bed. Nobody wanted to get out of bed this morning. Yeah. Pip, good morning. Gingerbread, good morning. Rewilder Life, how are you doing? You saved your coffee for 3 hours just so you could have it with us. Well, thank you. First of all, I have two questions about that. First of all, thank you. I guess the first one isn't a question. It was more of a thank you and a statement. The other question is, did you make it 3 hours ago, or did you wait to make it to have with us? Because cold coffee. James wonders if that's coffee with nuts, and Rachel agrees. Pip's been drinking coffee for 3 hours, and now we're all showing up. Good morning, Hunter. Good morning, Hunter. What is a swipe? What's a swipe board? Is that like a auto text thing over on Twitch where you can just make stock messages or something? Good morning, Blakesley Acres, Backwoods Butcher. Thanks for stopping in. K-Bonk, Mike's Homestead, Pickle Pete. Pickle Pete's got a big day going on today. Pickle Pete's got episode 200 of his podcast / live stream right after this show. So be sure to pop over for, I guess he's got guests popping in today and all sorts of fun stuff. He's got a new musical instrument that he put together that he's going to be debuting live on the video. I mean, where can you go wrong? Where can you go wrong with that? There he is. He's playing bass in his bear suit. Oh no. Oh no. Furry Brian back again. Furry Brian. How's it going, folks? Kyle's making his now. How long have you been up, Kyle? How long did you wait to make your coffee? And how is the non-smoking going? Are you enjoying it? Is it feeling better? Are your lungs getting better? And Rachel said she waited. She waited to make the coffee, so it's not good warmed up. Thank you for not making it and then reheating it. I appreciate you saving it for the show, but don't save it. Just make it. What is in my cup this morning? Another special treat from Scrambling at Food Forest Farms and the C4 Club. If you're interested in figuring out what that is, head on over to foodforestfarms.com and you will definitely benefit from the C4 Club. That's all I have to say. That's all I'm saying today. But today in the cup, I have the other half of my special blends, or not, they're not blends, they're straight beans, but specialty coffee that he got in, new coffee, I guess he got in, and it ties into one of my favorites I've ever had since I've started drinking other than Folgers. But Tanzanian Peaberry, Brian got that in. If you are curious what Peaberry is, you can go back and read that. Or listen to that earlier in the week. But Tanzanian Peaberry, yesterday I had the light roast. That is my jam. That is what I like. I like light roast. I don't dig the dark roast coffees. So he immediately sent me the Tanzanian light. He also sent me a bag of Tanzanian medium. And so I'll try it. I'm okay with trying other things. I've tried dark roast. I taste things for him and give him feedback, even though it's not my favorite. I can still give him feedback on his roast, on the bean, things like that. So he sent out the light and the medium, and I have this plan. Yesterday I had plain light Peaberry, Tanzanian Peaberry. It was phenomenal. Like, it really, really was. It was fantastic. I had 2 French presses of that yesterday. Today I opened the medium roast, and man, I am tossed. And here's the deal. I'm tossed because it was yesterday. And this is really good. I really like this, and I'm not sure if I like this better or not. It's different for sure. It definitely got a little fuller and a little more body into it. But it hasn't got to the bitter. There's no bitterness at all whatsoever. I'm excited to this weekend mess around a little bit and do a 50-50 blend, maybe, or a 75-25 blend of the light and the light and the medium. And I think it'll be absolutely phenomenal. And then maybe some 75-25s over the weekend. And at one point, I hope to make a press of each at the same time and really, really compare them at the same time. So it's not 24 hours in between tasting. So I don't know. It's this is good, Brian, man. Well done. And he, as he pointed out yesterday, as I was conferring with him and talking about how the light tasting went, and he reminded me that this is just his first run with it. This was just the first roast. And like any artisan, as you work with the medium, and every single coffee bean is different, even bean to bean, like even so say he got another bag of Tanzanian Peaberry from next year or last year or later in the season. It was it'll be different. But with the artisan nature of Brian doing the small batch coffee, he can adjust to that. He can roast a few batches up front, really get that flavor and taste, and dial in what light is. What is the optimal light range? What is the optimal dark range? What is the optimal medium range? And it is definitely a skill, and it's worth so much value. And I've found so much value in it, in just having that coffee and having the conversations with Brian about coffee, because I really enjoy it. It's a very interesting topic for me. It's something I enjoy in the morning, but it's something I enjoy learning about. And man, he's super knowledgeable. And man, Pickle Pete says if we fill up the coffee club, if we fill up the C4 club, Brian's going to be taking adventures all over the world looking for specialty coffees and different coffees. And C4 Club members will be invited on the trips. So there is that. But yeah, as far as this medium peaberry, man, you A plus. A plus. I appreciate you for sure. And if you guys like coffee, if you fancy yourself a coffee drinker, you'd like to learn a lot about coffee and get it at a ridiculous price, C4, or just try it. Just head on over to foodforestfarms.com and use lots 10 LOTS 10 lots 10 will get you 10% off an order. You can try it. You can interact with Brian. If you don't know what you want, order anything, and in the notes in the description, put, hey, I don't know what I like. Hook me up. And he'll ask you some questions. He'll get a hold of you, and he'll blow your mind as far as how he can match coffee. So bravo, man. Bravo. And like I said, episode 200 for Brian after this show, right into it over on the Food Forest Farms YouTube channel. Gingerbread Farm says, how many members now? It's over 50 for sure. It's over halfway for sure. I don't know what the current count is. Hunter said, what is the fourth C in C4? Coffee, consulting, condo stays. It's not camping anymore. I don't think so. I don't know. What are your 4 C's now, Brian? Consultation, that's it. They shut down the cannabinoids. So I don't know if it's cannabinoids anymore. I can't even say the words. So they got 42 slots left. Nice. Solid. Condo stays. Oh, I don't know. I don't know what they're doing out there. Stays in Seattle. Gotcha. Cougars. There it is. Backwoods came up with it. Cougars. Brian will find you some cougars while you're out visiting. Oh, God. Sorry. Excuse me. Oh, all right. Well, I'm excited about this coffee, guys. I am. They officially shut down the cannabinoids. Carrying there, gingerbread got it. It's coffee, consulting, condo stays, and caring. Oh, Comfrey. Corey from the back room with the win. Comfrey. There we go. Man, sometimes you need somebody looking from the outside to just hit you in the face and tell you what the last one is. Oh man, Comfrey. We gotta talk about that today. Yeah, it's weird. It's on my list, like next. It starts with a big old C, and I'm like, what's the last C? But it's been good morning, Canadian Farmstead. It's been that kind of morning for me. I looked at Corey. She takes the dogs out in the morning. I take them out before bed. And while she's taking the dogs out, I kind of get up, I brush my teeth, I make coffee, I kind of get my computer up, and I get things all kind of set up and ready to go. And this morning, you ever have those days where you're just like a quarter inch off, half inch off maybe, and you fucking knock over everything, you spill everything, you whack your fingers on everything? That's how my morning started out. Everything I touched, I set down, I moved, I tried to grab anything, I was knocking it over. And I'm losing my mind. I spilled a little water. I knocked my French press over. Not full, thank God. Not full, just as I was rinsing it. And I was just like, really? This is how today's gonna go? This is fucking how today's gonna go. And then I walked across the floor, and there's periods of time. Um, Gingerbread says, when I got out of the military, they said I can't hit people in the face anymore. I didn't mean, no, I mean like accidentally. Um, I, so I'm knocking all this shit over. And there's periods of time in our camper, specifically after Walter eats, sometimes after Norman eats. Walter likes to travel while he eats. Well, not necessarily travel all the time, but always will take take a mouth of food and pick his head up and kind of look around while he's chewing it. And all the food gets in his jowls, and as he's chewing, it drops on the ground. It sounds like, you ever been in a tin shed when it starts raining, big fat raindrops, and it's like tink, 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 tink. And then he'll take another fucking big old mouthful and tink, tink, tink. And he likes to wander around the floor. He spreads it from one end of our main room to the other. Like, there's times I've literally seen it from the front of the camper to the back, all over the floor, when he's really in a good mood while he's eating, and he likes to walk around to all the different bowls. Well, some of it gets stuck up in there, and it gets softish from the slobber. He starts drooling, the slobber runs on the floor. Yeah, it's really wonderful. And we've actually contemplated getting a small dog, like a little kind of really tiny dog, to just walk around and eat up all the food from Walter dropping it on the floor, and Norman to an extent. Clyde is really, really kind of clean and neat. He's our clean dog. But we've contemplated this little dog. I think we would actually have to get probably a 20-30 pounder to just consume all the food that ends up on the floor. So Norman loves eating the food off the floor. So it's kind of like this synergetic relationship. Walter will like spread it all over the floor, and then Norman will hey Rachel, guess what? That's coming next. So Norman will go by after and like clean up one piece at a time. Like, you see him and you think he's like getting into something on the floor, like he found something he's not supposed to, and he'll just like one piece and lick it up and eat it. And he goes around and like vacuums up all of Walter's mess. But in the morning, between the time that Walter eats and Norman gets around to getting to the food, sometimes Brian walks out there to make his coffee. And added together with a morning where I was knocking everything over, then I started stepping on dog food and doing the dog food dance, is what I like to call it, because I'll step on it and then I have to like pick up my foot and like wipe it off. And this morning it was like I was stepping on different dog food all the time. And I'm already kind of agitated from dropping everything. And then as I step my foot down, my heel stepped in a little puddle of slobber, and I kind of did the like slide across the floor and almost biffed it and fell on the floor. I really just stood there for a minute, and I pictured Epictetus talking to me, going, "Calm down, don't react to your emotions. Breathe. What would a Stoic do?" Gingerbread says Legos, sometimes worse than Legos, not necessarily because of the sharpness, but it's hard, and they also get mushy around the outside. So it's like a gooey thing that'll stick to your foot with a hard pebble right in the middle. Am I typing with my face? Kyle? Did Kyle says I need one of Tim's chihuahuas. Hey, Corey, do you know how to spell chihuahuas? Is it Chiwawas? Chihuahuas. Oh, Kyle thinks we should get some chihuahuas. Corey said she wants a little wiener, guys. So I think that is a roundabout way of saying that I am not a little wiener. Ooh, happy Friday for me. Oh. Oh man. Oh no. Chihuahuas. God. I love you guys. I truly love you guys. Gingerbread Farms says it's spelled just like it means fucking demons from hell. Yeah. Backwards, you didn't understand. He says it seems like she already has a little wiener. Well, first of all, my wife doesn't have a wiener, thanks. And secondly, I think if she already had one, she wouldn't want one. Or maybe she likes it a lot and she wants another one. Rewilder Life says their coffee was worth the wait, so long as I don't spit it out. Well, if you do spit it out, get yourself a chihuahua, and then it'll be able to lick it up for you. I wonder if Kyle knows where to get a chihuahua. God. Oh, let's move on, guys. Yeah, so that was my morning in a nutshell. Like, probably we do okay. Rachel asked if so she assumes we don't walk barefoot. No, that's barefoot. We're constantly like wiping shit off our feet. And then anytime we need to put socks or anything like that on, we like scrub them off with a brush or a wipe or some sort, because it's just impossible to keep up with these animals. Scrappy's a little wiener, Corey. She says she knows. And Backwoods says 3 inches plus 3 inches is 6 inches. So what I was trying to say in your group last night, somebody was asking if what size cedar posts you need, and you guys were talking about you need 4 to 5 inches, and I said, well, not really. If you got 2 to 3, you can just pound it in twice. Ba-bum-bum. Oh. Pip says, "Oh boy, a Chihuahua and high caffeine. You forgot about the cannabinoids too, Pip." He's on a roller coaster. He gets them all flamed up on coffee, and then bakes them out. Rachel Rewilder Life is starting to go through the process of building her house. I guess, I mean, not just starting, but they're actually getting things rolling, which is super cool. It's gonna be really fun to watch. But she says, so the builder asked about the floor color, and she said, let me see what color the dirt is at the land. I mean, work smart, not hard, right? Work smart, not hard. Yeah, so yesterday, let's talk about yesterday. Yesterday was awesome. I had a fantastic day. For sure. I mentioned yesterday what I was up to, that I got a box from Carrie Brown over at Strong Root Resources with a shitload of plants in it. And then I also got in the mail our new prototype project, or new prototype product. I guess it's not a prototype anymore. I'll sell it today. It's a great deal. Brian, by the way, I forgot to send you a message yesterday. The bigger plant that you sent with the longer roots, 2 of those that's what we got to go with. Video will come soon, but basically it was the business in the box model that we were thinking about, but really giving the options to the customer to break it down however they want. We took one of those. Jamie and I at Off Grid Ping, if you aren't following Jamie, you should search Off Grid Ping in YouTube when the show's over. I'll remind you at the end, hopefully. But Jamie's in our groups, and he's got a really good YouTube channel and is doing phenomenal videos. So check that out. Hopefully he's going to get on Homestead Apprentice with John Willis and knock the shit out of that program. He's going to be doing a demo at SRF. And if you guys want to come to SRF in the spring, definitely swing down in the video description and click that link for your tickets. I get a little kickback on those. I got a little affiliate account with SRF. So if you're going to get your tickets anyway, definitely buy them through my link. But Jamie and I broke up the 2 new comfrey plants that Brian sent out. Looked like they were probably 2-year plants, I'm guessing. Big crowns with really nice long roots. So literally we could have taken them out of the package, dug a hole, and planted that whole plant, and it would have been like it just came out. The packaging did work, Brian. I don't know if it had been hot, how well we would have rolled. We might want to do another test to something hot. Not sure. But we opened it up. I showed a few different ways to break it down, how to pull roots out, how to cut up the roots to a good size, like what is the proper size, because when you send a whole plant, see, when I sell root cuttings, I take the plant. There's a lot of it that I use for other stuff. I discard it. I use it for just random planting and only send out what a customer is going to want to put in to be successful. So Pip says they do spring SRF in the spring as well. Yes. This year it is April 6th and 7th this year. April 6th and 7th. But anyway, I only send the roots that they're going to be successful with. So this, you really get a bigger plant. So I showed how you can break it down, how you can leave it whole. The bigger you leave the pieces, the quicker it comes back. I also showed how to split a crown and divide that up and have 2 strong plants, and then talked about the options of leaving the crowns, putting them in, and then filling in the gaps with roots. That's kind of how I propagated my field into being really big and robust with different growth rates and different age plants. The Pickle Pete asked who posted that new cutting up last night. That was me. That's out at Tim's. That was comfrey that Mike's Homestead, or MSU Rifle, depending on which name you know him by, brought out to Workday at Delinquents Gully, and we got that in the ground last was right before SRF, so last October, and that's coming in, and that I found 2 or 3 spots, and I'll talk about that a little bit when I talk about going to Tim's. 2 or 3 spots that had really nice big old sprouts coming up, so it's gonna be sweet. Backwood says it's the day before your birthday. April 6th and 7th is the day before your birthday. Is your birthday April 8th? Seriously, dude? Is your birthday April 8th? Interesting. Okay, Pip, answer me this. what is the first what is the first what is the first selection phase of Homestead Apprentice? When is it? Hey Corey, interesting tidbit. Kyle's birthday is April 8th. I know somebody else with a birthday is April 8th. Not Corey. Pickle Pete's day after tax day, man. I'm gonna have to save this chat and mark down everybody's birthday. Corey, Pickle Pete is April 16th. Backwoods Butcher's 4/8. Gingerbread is 4/10. Huh? Yeah, lots of April. Backwoods Butcher said, "I've waited this long to tell you I'm your long lost son." Congratulations. Congratulations. Hey. Anyway, so we got that started at Jamie's. We got it all broke up. Did the video, like I said, I'm gonna have to edit it up. I didn't watch it at all. It was kind of an on the fly. That is May 2nd to 9th. Okay. So it was a one shot thing. Like when you when you when you are cutting it up and you're doing a video, Jamie was helping. He was taking some video for himself, and it's basically like, you got one piece of pie, you got one pie, and you're gonna cut the pie up, and if the camera doesn't happen to be on the pie, you have to bake a whole new pie before you do the video again. So hopefully I got the good video. I haven't looked at it yet. I recorded a bunch of video yesterday, and it was all kind of like on the fly. So I'm hoping that this weekend, when I dig into it, it wasn't a bunch of just shit video. We'll see. I cleaned my lens and everything. So, Pip says the Homestead Apprentice Gauntlet event for pre-selection is May 3rd through the 6th. Okay, cool. Thanks, Pip. And then the main event is June 10th through the 30th. Well, I might be having to go out to Off-Grid Ping quite a bit more at that point, and hopefully he gets selected and makes it to that 20-day cycle. And I'll throw in some help taking care of his stuff. I can't do it every day, but Jamie, you need help. If you get on the show, let me know. You know that. So we got that cut up, and then I showed Jamie. He was wondering how to plant it, where to plant it, and that's a cool thing about being here in person now. I've sold comfrey. Oh man, since I started doing it on the farm in Minnesota, I think I've sold comfrey to it would be close. I would say, if I had to guess, probably 40 out of the 50 states I've sold it to. Shipped it to, I guess. But I've never been there. I've never been where Jesus Christ. Kyle has one thing on his brain right now. One thing and one thing only. He says John Willis needs to hire Jeff Probst to help host Homestead Apprentice. I don't think he does. I really think that they'll be able to get through it without Jeff Probst. The tribe has spoken. Wrong show. They need to hire Orange Man, asshole. He was the one that did The Apprentice. But I've never been on site. Like I've shipped to Tennessee. I've never been down here. I realized yesterday that we're installing comfrey in February, And when I was with my original setup and supplying all my own comfrey root for my sales, I never was able to. I think the earliest I ever shipped any out was in April, mid-April. And that was because we had a mild winter, no snow, and it warmed up, and I was able to dig, and it was still dormant. And I was nervous. I was like, holy shit. But usually May till September, May till October. Um, it was really weird planting in February. So trying to figure trying to figure out the cycle. So you get a lot of this information if you book some consulting with me about comfrey, but there's a cycle you're going to want to follow if you're planting roots, if you're planting crowns, kind of when you're going to want to take leaf matter, when you're going to be able to propagate the roots for yourself or for sale, how aggressive to get with the plant at different stages, how long it takes to get in. So that was all stuff I acquired. And the cycle for Minnesota, the sun, do it full sun, do it full shade. Like, it's a honey badger plant that can really go anywhere, but just really trying to tune it for maximum production was site to site. And so I gave generic advice. Hey, probably in Texas, you don't want to put it in full sun. Probably in Minnesota, you're going to want to put it in full sun so you get more sun. Like, I kind of I just used my brain when giving people advice for other places. But Jamie and I were sitting there, and he's like, "Hey, so where do I plant this?" I said, "Let's plant it everywhere. We have enough to try it out in a bunch of different spots." Chris Dixon says, "I'm not sure what I'd do with 200-day grow season." When we started thinking about leaving Minnesota, and we started looking at different places before we were going to travel around, we were just going to pick one spot to go to. And I saw that Tennessee was 3 months longer, 90 days longer than Minnesota. Their frost date to frost date was 90 days a year longer. And I was like, what? What am I doing here? What am I doing here in Minnesota? So I told Jamie, I was like, this is pretty straightforward. Depends on well, yeah, Rachel, 90 days. Yeah, we were zone 3A, 3B on the border. And right here where we're at, we're like 7A or 7B. It was three months longer. It was a month, and it was like 5 to 6 weeks on either end. It was unreal. I was like, what? I could do a whole garden in that time. I do a whole garden in that time. But this is a big experiment out at Jamie's, and I'm confident in the fact that the new grow chart. The new grow chart. Oh yeah. Chris Dixon mentioned the new USDA grow chart for global warming. I told Jamie, we're going to get this established on here. And it's all about the time, how long it's going to take you to get what you want. Do you want to use the leaves medicinally? Do you want to use the leaves as a side hustle to make salves, or sell dried leaves, or sell wet leaves? Do you want to use it for organic matter for your garden? If you're just harvesting leaves, man, you can go at it as soon as that plant is semi-established, especially going into the first that first dormancy wherever you are. Man, chop it to the ground and start using it. As soon as those leaves come up the next year, just start using them. If you want to do root cuttings to propagate on your property, you want to use root cuttings to sell, that's you're going to want to give it a little more time to get established, to make that plant stronger. But I told him as soon as it's rooted, and this was my theory at Delinquents Gully, because it's man, it's kind of a secondary property. We're treating it like that. We're treating it like guerrilla planning, planning stuff, very minimal preps for the site to get it installed, and then no maintenance. Basically, do nothing with it except watch it. And my theory there is if it gets established on the property, it's way easier to propagate on the property instead of getting it through the mail, moving it around. I'm looking for one plant. If I can get one plant on Delinquents Gully, I can make 1 million plants in a couple years. So I told Jamie that let's put it in different places, see how it goes. When it pops up in the full sun in the fall, we'll see how the plant did. When it pops up in the partial sun, we'll see how it does. And whatever is the strongest, then we'll find more places exactly like that to put it in the ground. But I showed him how to make a fertile hole, how to dig it out and kind of mix it with rabbit shit and compost and put it back in, and then plant that crown or root cutting right at the top. Gives it a little kickstart when it's growing. We got that. Jesus Christ. We got that. Guys are fucking assholes. So we got it in. We got it in at Jamie's. Pickle Piece says, I wonder what bugs will chomp it. Haven't seen any yet. I don't know, man. It's in my observation in Minnesota, which we don't have a lot of the bugs because they die off. And I don't think mosquitoes eat it because we wouldn't have any. But I would get occasional browsing from wildlife, maybe rabbit and deer, but never to excess. Never to excess. I never really had a decimating infestation of anything. Chris Dixon says flea beetles eat comfrey. Interesting. Oh, God. And this is why you're going to get kicked off of Survivor, man. Kyle says the best way to make a fertile hole is an absent father and alcohol abuse. So we got the comfrey installed at Jamie's. I pulled some out to bring down to Delinquents Gully. Now we'll have 3 different versions of comfrey on there. Rewilder Life says her dogs eat comfrey. Your dogs. Jesus. And so I took some down to Delinquents Gully, and I took the box to the box that Carrie came in, or Carrie mailed me to install some other stuff there. If you guys are looking for elderberry cuttings, definitely get a hold of Carrie. He'll ship those out to you. Man, they looked really good. They looked really good when I got them open. I got video of this too, but basically out Delinquents Gully yesterday, my project, and keep in mind, Becky loves comfrey. Becky and I have had a conversation, Chris Dixon, thank you, that my comfrey doesn't spread. Yours took over. I had to convince Tim. So Toolman Tim Cook owns Delinquents Gully. By the fact that Tim owns it, Becky owns it more. So when I was talking to Tim about getting a comfrey propagation revenue stream on the property, Becky about her eyes popped out of her head and she wanted to shove needles in her ears because our friend Chris Dixon decided to bring them some wild comfrey that spreads through seed and spreads a lot and fast in any place you put it, damaging her opinion of the plant. Thanks, Chris. Anyway, what my goal yesterday at Delinquents Gully was, I wanted to clear out a spot, basically making a test area in that that section of the property. Found a nice creek bed, and the shore that I originally identified, the shore, the edge of the creek bed, there was a nice flat spot. I got out there and I started clearing the field grass and trying to get down to soil, and it was just it was bad. It was thick. I kind of stopped and looked around, and best laid plans always get changed. I looked across the creek bed, and there was a perfect flat spot. There was a bunch of rotting wood and organic matter. And so I was like, oh, I can clear through that. There's just some brambles and thorns and things. And so I went and grabbed tools, and I started I went to grab my gloves, and I didn't have any fucking gloves. Didn't think about it. Didn't think about it. The area I was going to clean didn't have any brambles or thorns or anything like that. I went back to the truck and took my work gloves out of the truck, and they were in the camper for doing some stuff with the wood stove. So I got to clear a shitload yesterday with no gloves. I don't know if you can see. Pretty nasty, all tore up on my hands, all on my arms. I came home, I was all bloody. It was pretty interesting. But anyway, got that knocked out. I got the area cleaned. I raked back the floor, the ground covering, and the soil that was in this section was absolutely phenomenal. I posted a picture, like a zoomed in picture of one of the elderberry cuttings that I installed. And if you can see the soil around it, it's just black. Like the perfect color, the perfect texture. It like held moisture well. It smelled fantastic. It was easy. I would stick the spade down in it, and it would just go straight in. Like, other than the root masses in the soil that I had kind of like cut through, it was just fantastic. Backwoods Butcher says, "Oh no, your delicate hands." That one's real delicate right there. Um, Kyle needs penicillin. Kyle, I think, has a ongoing penicillin prescription that he goes and gets refills when he needs it. So basically, I got all that knocked down and spread out. I moved a bunch, like I said, I moved a bunch of logs. I made really nice border, and it was probably when I pasted out, it was about 30 to 35 yards long, or 30 to 35 feet long by probably 10 to 12 feet wide. And is Jim over on? Oh God, I wonder if Jim is. Nope, never mind. Never mind. Jim's not on there. I was gonna say, is Jim over on Noster, and I haven't been checking the comments. He's probably over there going, "Hey guys, I'm here." Jim might have overslept. Who knows? So the area was probably 30-35 feet by 10-12 feet wide. We got some trees. I put in a bunch of edge along a border to try to kind of isolate this area. And then on the other side is creek bed, or there's a creek in the middle. And then the other side, I was able to clear off enough spot to install some of the other plants. So in the main area, I installed a dozen or more. It must have been 15 elderberry cuttings, some yarrow around the elderberry cuttings, some ground strawberry. I installed a dozen spiral willows across the creek bed for propagation. These are all for propagation. Basically, we're trying to get them established here to be able to then use them to propagate the rest of the property, and then sell them too. So yeah, sell cuttings right out there. So it's so that was cool. I installed some of the comfrey that that Brian sent out from our batch along a creek bed. And then this also connects conveniently right to the patch where Mike's homestead, the comfrey that I mentioned earlier that he brought out, is installed right close to this. So it's going to keep expanding, I think. Right now, it's a really good size. I got to get back out there and get cardboard or ground cover or something on this, just to help beat down the natural flora and fauna out there, and give these new plants a time to establish. And then one thing I did notice, which I put in the video, and I hope the video turns out, because it's a really cool spot that we're going to work on. I think I'm going to get a lot of be able to do a lot of mushrooms and different small plants and just do some testing, see how things go there, really have a spot to get them established. This soil is just phenomenal there. It just keeps blowing my mind every time I think about it. But I did, as I'm clearing all this, and I stopped and took a break, and I was kind of looking around. I saw some pretty heavy deer trail pretty close. And I was concerned that they're going to be all over this elderberry cuttings and all over the new installations and things. So, other things, I got a sycamore tree in there. Actually, there was a volunteer sycamore sapling that Carrie sent out from his place, and then a couple of Chinese American chestnuts, actual chestnuts. We don't know what they're going to do. We don't know if they're going to pop up, but I got them isolated in a little area and marked out, so I know if they pop up, we can play around with them. So I saw the deer trail, and I'm like, what am I going to do? And I thought back to Minnesota, and basically, to keep the wild, we never had a whole problem with wildlife in Minnesota other than some black bears on really shitty springs. They would get into our chicken feed. Other than that, they got into my bees. I mean, can you blame a bear getting into honey? They got into it right when the honey flow started. But other than that, the deer trail there, I was like, hey, I have these extra elderberry cuttings. Excuse me, guys. Have these extra elderberry cuttings that Carrie sent that didn't fit in the place that I cleared out. And I went and I started them, gorilla planted them along the deer trail. So the heaviest deer trail came down to the creek, probably 20 yards from where I did all this installation. And then it crossed the creek and went away from where I was. So I was like, okay, they're traveling away, and it's pretty well worn. You could tell it is pretty frequented. There isn't a ton of deer pressure on the property, but with people moving in and everything, and this being undeveloped, I can see them pushing into this area more over the next couple years. But I planted elderberries along their path, basically giving them their own. And if they don't take them, and they establish there, those are just going to be free. They're going to be gorilla planted out there, and they are what they are. If they eat them to the ground, that's what they're there for. If they don't, then they'll just be extra plants. So basically giving the wildlife something so they stay away from my shit. It worked in Minnesota. It worked in Minnesota for sure. We used to throw culls and stuff to the coyotes, not by where our chickens were, but out in the away a little bit. Always had stuff kind of gorilla planted all over the place, plants and things like that. So if they don't have to look for it, if you can put it where they're moving, maybe they'll stay away from your shit. Maybe they won't. But with a secondary property and not putting up fences and not doing all that stuff, and just letting it survive if it survives, it's great. It's great. Chris Dixon says it's not, since it's not a property you're always at to monitor. Grate a bar of Irish Spring soap 4 foot around your new trees, and it'll keep the deer away for a season. That is a trick that that I have heard before. Yeah, we might. Yeah, that's not a bad idea. I'm really curious. I'm really curious what happens here. They didn't get into anything that I've already planted there. So I'm yeah, I we'll see. We'll see how it goes. I mean, I know where I can get some comfrey cuttings or not comfrey cut or elderberry cuttings if I need them. So we'll see. We'll see. It was a good day. I really enjoyed it. Busted out of there and got home. And one last thing before I get out of here, the UPS driver had a package that was said it was out for delivery again yesterday. Out for delivery. Checked a bunch of times, drove past the post office, actually had to stop into the post office to figure out my shipping on the new paracord bracelets. Didn't have any package. It was still out for delivery. I didn't see the UPS guy down at the Mexican restaurant. I came home. It was pizza day yesterday, so we got our pizza ordered up. We usually pick that up about 5:30. And Corey wanted me to go down to the gas station and grab her some beer yesterday. So I take off. I'm getting ready to take off, and I get a attempted delivery alert, like I did the other day. You know, like when I figured it was just on the truck back at the station. 4:58, 4:57, something like that, and the post office is closed. It closes at 4:30. But I'm like, ah, bullshit. This is bullshit. It'll be here tomorrow, but this is bullshit. And so I go to get Corey's beer, and I'm driving down through town. And sure as shit, right there next to the Mexican restaurant, there's the UPS truck with his hazards on, no guy in it. And I'm like, that son of a bitch is eating dinner again. At least he tried to deliver it before he's eating dinner. But this got my wheels turning. I go to the gas station. So the Mexican restaurant is on one side of the street, and the gas station is like a half a block down across the street. And so I pull into the gas station. I go in. I'm like, hey, you guys get UPS deliveries here often? She's like, yeah, all the time. I was like, has he been here yet? She's like, no, I think he's over there eating dinner. He usually swings in here on his way out. I was like, how long has he been eating dinner? She's looking at me like, why? I was like, he's got a package on his truck that I'm going to see if he's going to give to me. She's like, well, you can go in and ask him in the restaurant. I'm like, no. It's not that important. I'm not going to go bother somebody in the middle of their dinner and be like, hey, I know you tried to deliver my package to the address that's on the package and no one was there. But I'm that guy. Can you just give it to me? Even though he does know me from another delivery, I imagine he would have been like, yeah, no problem. So I took my time. My pizza was going to be ready at 5:30. This was about 5:20, and the pizza was like 3 minutes away. And so I'm sitting in the parking lot stalking the UPS guy, waiting for him to finish up his dinner. He didn't finish up in time. I went and got the pizza. He drives right past where the pizza truck is when I was staying there. I didn't see him, and so I would have waited for nothing. He was probably enjoying some margaritas or some burritos or something phenomenal at El Portillo. Hopefully get my package today. We'll see. Got to get a property. We got to buy a property here so I can put a mailbox. Hunter says he's picturing the girl that shows the hogs. You guys ever seen the videos? You must have seen the videos of the famous girl that shows the pigs, and they have to stare at the judges and move the pig around without breaking eye contact with the judges. and it's just creepy and spooky. It's like Children of the Corn shit. Yeah, that was kind of me. Like I didn't take my eyes off that fucking truck the whole time. I was probably like the girl showing the pigs. Kyle says, he's jokingly says, "Hey there, UPS man, do you have a package for me?" Literally walking the dogs one day, I flagged down the UPS truck because he was going to our place because I had something delivered to our address here where we're parked, and we were on the dog walks, and I knew he was on his way, and I waved him down, and I said, "Hey, are you going to this address for this name?" He's like, "Yeah, actually I am right now." I said, "Okay, that's me. Go ahead and just drop it by my truck." So it's not so funny anymore, is it, when it's actually true, huh, Kyle? Or does that make it more funny? I don't know. I gotta head down to Savannah today, guys. I will definitely take notes and have that ready for Monday. I realized this morning when I opened up my eyes, and it might have been why I didn't want to get out of bed. I'm going to do laundry and groceries on a Friday, which is never good off the bat. And then I realized when I looked at my phone and I saw that it was the 16th of the month, I realized what yesterday was. Bank accounts are full for a day. Could be an interesting trip to the town. I don't know. At least I don't have to go to Walmart. Actually, Corey's back there making fucking grocery lists, and she's probably like, "That asshole, I'm gonna get him. I'm gonna get him this week. I'm gonna make him go to Walmart." Gingerbread Farms. What do you mean welfare day? Oh, I hope you have a very fair day also. Today, I'll tell you, when I was back bartending in Minneapolis, downtown Minneapolis, today, a Friday the 16th, everybody hates Friday the 13th. Everybody gets spooked out about Friday the 13th. Brian called in to work sick on Friday the 16th or Friday the 2nd. That's when Brian called into work. Not gonna do it. Just not gonna do it. K-Bonk with a little update. Bitcoin is at $52,400. Go, 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 Bitcoin. I'm wrapping it up, guys. It's Friday. I'm getting out of here. I got a lot of shit to do. I got a bunch of video editing to do this weekend. I got to go do laundry and groceries and get wood ready because it's going to get cold again. It's going to be a busy one. It is going to be a busy one. Anyway, let's wrap it up. Pickle Pete, Food Forest Farms, scrambling. Hey now, whatever you want to call him. He is firing up episode 200 of his podcast, Back Into It, daily every morning right after this show. He is calling it the B2B coast to coast 2 hours of 2 hours, I guess. He didn't realize that I'm not on the coast. I'm in Tennessee, Central Time Zone, over the Blue Ridge Mountains, over the Smoky Mountains. Blue Ridge Mountains? Where are the Blue Ridge Mountains? Yeah, I'm not on the coast, man. Not on the coast. You are. Anyway, wrap it up. Have a good weekend, guys. I appreciate you hanging out. And if you enjoyed the show, it's always free to hit that like, the share. Please share with somebody. How about this weekend? You share our channel and the live stream with someone you know that might like to come in and laugh, have fun, and bullshit every morning. To return value for value, please consider joining one of the YouTube membership tiers or listening on any value for value platform like Podverse or Fountain.fm. You can find us on Noster, Zap.stream, all sorts of fun things coming up, getting better and adjusting changes in the future. Man, I'm really liking the format. I enjoy hanging out with you guys, laughing every morning. It's just as much needed by me as you guys enjoy it. So I appreciate hanging out, making it fun. Visit thelotsproject.com to find more information, find my links, find my partner companies, discount codes, recommended products, and all that. Other than that, stay safe this weekend, guys. stay safe. I don't know. Have an awesome weekend. Be sure to shoot over and say congratulations to Pickle Pete and over there on Food Forest Farms. And hey, make it a great weekend day, guys, and we will catch up with you on Monday.